Buddy, today we're going to be talking about a intelligence build that I have been doing. It's pretty fun. This is going to be more of a late game build because there's going to be a few things that are going to take a little bit to get. However, you can get a lot of this early on, but there's going to be mainly the talisman section. There's going to be a couple of them you're not going to be able to get until later on. So you can call this a early to mid game build, but then in order to get the full build with everything, it's going to be more of a later game build because you have to be able to get to the consecrated snowfield and the Halic tree. So, starting off with weapon, I like to use the Wing of Estelle. The reason why is it has a really sweet spammable. Like, this does an absolute ton of damage. I remember on one of my playthroughs, I literally killed the Elden Beast just by walking behind it and spamming this ability. It was kind of nuts. Really nutty. Real fun weapon. Carry on Regal Scepter. This boosts full moon sorceries, which I'm not particularly using, but this is the best staff in the game once you get to a certain int level. I think right now, since I only have 60 int, the meteorite staff or the Academy glintstone staff might be a little bit better, but it's not by like an amazing margin. Then you have Lusat's glintstone staff. This just helps you do absolute ton of damage. What you want to do is whip this out when you use your flask, but I'll show you that later on because it increases your FP consumption by like 50% I believe, but it increases the damage big time. So Lusat's Glintstone Crown, this is going to make your founding stars do a little bit more damage. Lusat's Robe, just because, you know, it looks cool, no particular reason for that. Graven Mass Talisman raises potency of sorceries. America's Sword Seal greatly raises attributes, so this does all of your mental stats by 5. Stargazer Heirloom, more intelligence, and then the Radagon Icon. This gives you the equivalent of like 30 dexterity, so if you didn't know, dexterity actually increases your spellcasting speed, and this gives you like the equivalent of 30 dex, so if you get your dex up to 40 and put this on, you'll have max casting speed. So to get the Wing of Estelle, you get this in, I believe, it is the Angel River. There's like one of these Estelle creatures hanging down, and you have to get behind it and then run up, and it's on a chest behind that thing up top. Then to get the Carry on Regal Scepter, you have to kill Renala, who is in Rhea Lucaria Academy. Right over here, she's the last boss. It's also how you open up respecking, so pretty worth it to do that. Then Lusat's Glintstone Staff. You can get this pretty early too. You have to go over to Celia Town of Sorcery, and you're going to need to do this whole entire area, so pretty much you just have to go run on the rooftops and like ring some bells or something like that, and then it's going to open up the boss room. You run over there, you kill the boss, and it's in a chest behind the boss. The boss is not hard by any means. For the Lusat stuff, now this is a little bit hard to get. You have to just complete Sorceress Selen's questline. So that's going to take you all the way up to, I think, well actually, I don't think that one's too bad. So when you find Sorceress Selen and you go do that stuff, pretty much you're going to have to get up to Renala as well, because I believe that's where the last part of that quest is. Because Selen, like, turns into pretty much this. Whatever this is, pretty much turns into something that looks like that. But that doesn't happen until you've done the quest line to get over there. And then during that quest line, she's going to have you go look for Lusat. So he's going to be in the Celia Cave, I believe. Nope, right here, or no, that's not it. It's the Celia Hideaway, yeah. So he's going to be in a cave right over here. And pretty much you're going to go talk to him, and then you're going to go back, finish the quest line, and then when you go back, he'll be dead, and he'll have all that stuff on his body. So you get the Graven Mass Talisman in the Consecrated Snowfield. You get it in the Albernic Rise, I believe, and then Marika's Sword Seal you get in the Halic tree, which is a very much a late game area. So, because I believe it's way the F up here, yeah. So you're gonna, until you can get to the Halic tree, you're not gonna be able to really get that item, which is fine. But as you can see, pretty much all this stuff you can get a little bit early. Now you do in order to get the Wing of Estelle, that means you have to have Ainsel River open, which means you're going to have to do Ranni's questline, which means you're also going to have to kill Radon, because pretty much what happens is you kill Radon, that opens up Nokron. So if you come over here, it's going to open up a big like crater right here. You go down in there, and then that's going to take you into Nokron, and you have to find the Finger Slayer blade for Ranni. But make sure before you do that you have already walked up to Ranni's Rise here, so you have to go through Caria Manor and kill the boss in here, just to make sure that you have that open, because in Ranni's Rise you have to talk to her, because if you don't talk to her and then you go to where the Finger Slayer blade is, it's going to say you're not destined to open it, and you're not going to be able to open the chest. But it's worth doing because you also get a great Ghost Glove Wart, so you're going to be able to, and you also need to go into Nokron to get the Mimic Tear, so you're going to get your plus 10 ingredient on top of being able to get the Mimic Tear in Nokron. And the Mimic Tear is the Spirit Ash we're using. It just copies what you do, so it's pretty good. And then the Radagot icon you actually get in Rhea Lucaria Academy again, so that's another good one you can get. Let's see here. Early on, let's see here. Yep. So that's that, and then so for the Flask of Wondrous Physic, to get the Cerulean Hidden Tier, there is an Ulcerated Tree Spirit in Mount Gelmer. And the reason why this is important is because it reduces your FP costs, so you can switch to Lusat's Staff, get a bunch of extra damage for no downside while that's on. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's just gonna be somewhere you kind of gotta like wrap down and around the Volcano Manor. It's like somewhere right here and such. And then the magic one is actually just right over the Magic Crystal Tier. I believe it's just right over here. All you have to do is go to this Minor Erdtree and kill the Minor Erdtree avatar that's guarding it, and you'll be able to get that Magic Shrouded Crack Tier. So those are both important because, you know, the Crack Tier is going to increase your damage by 20% with magic attacks. The Hidden Bubble Tier is going to remove your FP costs, so you're going to be able to just kind of spam. Another option, if you want to go for it, is going to be the what is it called? The Bubble Tier? Hold on. I have it. Where are you? This one, the Opaline Bubble Tier. So what this does is significantly negates damage. It kind of makes you like almost immune to damage. So if you really just want to like stand still and blast somebody, that's pretty good. Heck, you could potentially like mix these tiers together just to, you know, make it to where you can't die. But this one's pretty easy to get. You can get it pretty early from the Weeping Peninsula. It drops over here off this minor, at this Minor Erdtree. There's going to be another one of those Erdtree avatars, and if you kill it, it'll drop it. So you can get that pretty early as well. So you can get a lot of this built pretty early on. Keep in mind that in order to use this staff, though, you need to have really high int. So if you're trying to do this build early on, what you can do is you can go grab the Meteorite Staff, or the Academy, or if you're really early on, you want to get the Demi-Human Queen Staff, which you get here from these runes. Then this next one. So then the Meteorite Staff you get from, I want to say you actually find that over by the Celia Town of Sorcery, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's in Caelid, but it's not in the city. It's like in some ruins that's like around by the city. So it's the Street Sage's ruins, which I think is, yeah, right here. So it's kind of close, but you just go into these ruins and it's sitting in a chest in the street. It's like, well, actually no, it's not on a chest, it's on a corpse. That's right, that's right. I think you just have to run in here and grab it off a corpse, but it's going to be pretty good. It also boosts the power of gravity sorcery, so like Meteorite of Estelle and stuff like that. Like Gravitas is gonna be pretty baller. But that's gonna be, you know, you're gonna go demi-human staff, and then once you get to like 40, I believe it's like the Meteorite staff is better, and then once you get to like 70 int, that's when you do the carry-on Regal Scepter. I'm just using it anyway because I think it looks cool. So personally, I don't care too much about that kind of min-maxing. This is plenty to get through. New game +3. Let's see here. Now when it comes to spells, I'll show you the spells I'm using. So, okay. So I like to use Comet. This is just a really solid spammable. I am using Stars of Rune because I'm wearing this headpiece, so this does 10% more damage on, and if you use Lusats, it's even better. Gavel of Haima, this is really good. Just as, you know, if something gets close to you, it's really good to just kind of get them away or to like break their poison stuff. And then Terra Magica raises the magic strength of those within the sigil. So this one is only good if you can stand still and blast, but I do take it anyway. Because, you know, you can always do the Comet Azure combo, but that's kind of, you know, it's kind of gimmicky and kind of boring, honestly. But it is pretty effective, especially against bosses that stand still, like the bigger ones. You can also use Meteorite of Estelle if you want. But this ability is, well, it's not bad. Sometimes it's just going to miss everything. So it's really good, I think, on bigger targets and opponents. So it's harder to miss, but on small things, it can kind of crap the bed. Other options, you could use Larva's Mastery. That does pretty good damage, and it looks really cool. Using like things like Carry-On Slicer and stuff like that are pretty good. Carry-On Piercer, Great Sword, or Adula's Moonblade, which is one I actually really like. I'll show you that real quick. So it's like, it also does, and it does Frost, and if you press it twice, you'll be able to activate it more than once. Okay, so with that being said, I'll show you this in action. Oh, let's hop on in. Oh man. Ooh, that was very nice. Yeah. So like I was saying, this can be it can be a little bit hard to hit. Alright. He's flying at me. See if he walks into it. Nope. Ooh. Too slow. Ooh, there's the damage. Ooh. That's pretty spicy. Ooh. That tail ability, pretty rough. And there it is. Yeah, that guy's kind of annoying because he uses a shield all the time. But you can see this does some pretty fat chunks of damage whenever, you know, they don't have their shields up and stuff like that. And I also didn't use my loose sats enough. But yeah, so that's pretty much a pure kind of a purist intelligence build for you. Now there are more ways to min-max optimize it, you know, get higher intelligence, etc., etc. Get these to 10, and then remember what I used was only like a portion of what's out there. Like there are an absolute ton of spells to use, and depending on what your build is, there's a lot of good ways to combo them. Like right here, you can actually just, you know, abuse cold damage. Heck, you can even abuse bleed damage right here. So, and then you also have the death ring, core magic, right, and stuff like that right there. Alrighty, well, hopefully this helps, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Good luck out there.